of you will have already been acquainted with our guest tonight. He is a celebrated local musical luminary in the punk rock skinhead spectrum. He's none other than Little Baby Punk Ray Ray.
So, how you been?
Well, more to the point, Ray Ray, how have you been?
Oh, there's been some, I've had some trying years. The years that make people, or break people. And I've been broken before, but like anything worth fixing is gonna get fixed. And I'm starting to believe I'm even worth fixing. I'm just kidding, you know what I'm saying. For a long time I didn't think so. I just thought, I'll be fucked up forever, I'll die early. And I'm still concerned that I may pass away young, but it won't be because of drugs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have been broken, but you believe that you can be mended.
I don't know if I wasn't totaled. There was a car accident, but the car wasn't totaled.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It needs to go to the repair shop, but it may get an oil change, but I'll be fine.
All right. To anyone out in the audience who knows you or is acquainted with you, when Little Baby Punk Ray Ray comes to mind, the name is synonymous with music, always. In fact, would you be embarrassed? Have you ever been, if you pardon the expression, labeled a prodigy, a musical prodigy?
I think my brother sarcastically calls me it. But no, but I did accept the fact that when I do die, on my gravestone it's going to say he was a prolific songwriter.
Prolific songwriter.
So like where I don't have much money, at least I can tell someone, well, on your grave, what's it going to say? I know on mine it's going to say prolific songwriter, so eat that. No, I'm just kidding, but really though.
All right.
Picasso was broke.
What's that?
Like Picasso, I don't know if it's Picasso. A bunch of painters who painted masterpieces didn't have shit till they,
Yeah, posthumous fame, as it were.
Which is fine, because inside of me there's like this thing, like I have to do it. I have to make music, like something happens. I have to constantly, I always carry around a notebook, always. Because if an idea comes to you and you don't write it down, then that idea is going to go to the next guy and he's going to write that song down and he's going to have to smash your song, not you. Yeah, man. Sounds kind of crazy, but it's how I feel.
Well, sometimes there's a beauty to madness. It's an insipid question, but sometimes it's fun to answer. Where do you find your inspiration?
I find my inspiration just in life, in general. I use a lot of metaphors. So early on I used a lot of love metaphors for drugs, I gotta break up with you, because you're killing me, And I love you to death, but you're killing me. Someone could take it as a love song. Someone could take it as, whatever you want.
That is a good metaphor. That's excellent. Going back to labels, which usually have a way of having negative connotations, musically speaking, would you say that you are punk-oriented, or?
Yeah, I grew up playing punk rock. When I put on my stereo, it's usually some 77 punk. I love UK82 punk too. Not a big fan of what's going on nowadays, which I feel like is like hippies pretending to play folk instruments, or people playing metal. And I'm not a big fan of metal myself. I'm a fan of, it's like fucking, I don't know, man. I like old 60s pop music and 70s. That's why I like the 77 punk so much. It's just like fucking Chuck Berry, but sped up. That's perfect for me.
I see.
Yeah?
I could see that. Usually, what would you say is the farthest departure from punk rock that you also enjoy?
I make rap beats, and I make rap songs. If you look up Mac Ray on YouTube, there'll be one for you.
I imagine there are those out there who are familiar with that that aspect of your
Yeah, I like
talents.
to get a little silly and spit a few.
Even on the bus, as I recall.
Got a bust to move.
There is a video going around. It has been for years. I believe the name of the song might have been. I know it was one of the principal choruses. It's something in the nature of "Drop Dead."
Drop Dead. Now that's my first band, Delinquent Souls.
Ah, yes.
Yes, I was 12 years old.
Lord. Okay.
So I got in 4th grade. My birthday's December 17th, right? Real close to Christmas, and I'd been begging my parents forever for a guitar and a drum set, man. So I want to be Kiss. I love Kiss.
Oh, Kiss.
Yeah, I want to be the band Kiss. I still do. Paul, hit me up. Yeah, so 4th grade birthday rolls around, I get a fucking drum set. Oh man, game changer. Then Christmas rolls around, and I was not expecting another big gift like that, but it was, a little guitar, a little piano.
Oh, okay.
So next day, dude, I hit up Johnny. 4th grade, man. Johnny came over, we bashed away. Our idea of getting our band professional was we go through the fucking phone book and look up recording studios and call them, and they must have thought we were pranking them, man. Because we asked the dumbest question, the best questions ever. Like, so, I don't even remember. You'd have to ask Johnny in a different interview.
Well, did you get any feedback from
No, because we'd ask silly things like, one we'd always ask, is the gear all there? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, is the drums and guitar there, or do we have to bring ours? And of course they'd be like, well, how old are you? Because you can't really do much with someone who's underage. You can't hold them accountable for shit. Like, if their parents are broke, you're fucked. You can't bleed a stone. And my parents, not until recently, have been in a place where they aren't lower middle class, I guess.
Well, that notwithstanding, my impression over the years is that your parents have been very supportive and helpful along the way and have had your back all along. And
anything they can do, and this is for music, anything they can do, they've tried, right? And they're trying. With drugs, everything that they could do, they tried and try again. They're one of the people that believe in me. So like, it hurts me when I do drugs or have a relapse or whatever. It's not. I'm bummed at myself, not because of what I did, but because of the people that I'm letting down.
I see.
So it's like, fuck, dude. And I feel real guilty sometimes when I have to tell a lie about it. Ma, are you high? No. Okay. My mom knows I'm high, or something, And I just feel fucking, I don't like it. I'm trying to be more honest. I've lived a lot of years living a dishonest life. In that sense, just like in white lies, being an addict, you're full of them. Real quick, by the way, Delinquent Souls remember Rudy?
Little Cuban Rudy?
Rudy was on bass, Johnny Martinez on drums, and me on guitar. That was our band, dude. We play everywhere. We fucking play everywhere we could. Big shows, man. We played the Roseland.
Is that right?
Yeah, we opened up for this really big Mexican band because, we were called Almas Delincuentes in Spanish.
Orale.
I was very prepared as madre.
Ah.
Just kidding.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that. That's I had someone. That's why I couldn't recall a second ago. Say that the video was floating around out there, and they conjured it up and got to watch that, and it was amazing to see. But it is like a little time capsule.
Oh, totally. There's two. Actually, well, we did that. We made a 4-song EP at the time, and we made a little movie around it. Rudy was walking down the train tracks and he threw a rock at a window. Where's Rudy? We gotta practice. So you know what I mean? And we were just little kids. We were cute. And that didn't make it to. I wish that made it out. Because I'd love to giggle over that. But
Do you still have it somehow?
I bet my dad has it in the archives.
I see. That would be, yes, archives. Those are.
We got them thick, dude, because I keep every scrap that my parents don't throw away. Because after a while, they're like, dude, that's not art, it's another stick figure, bro. And I'm like, come on. Come on. You don't know art.
You never know when those little scraps of paper, doodles on a napkin, might just resurface in a project in the future. And so.
So I busk a lot downtown.
You do?
Oh, I make great money doing it.
I see.
Great money doing it. And I also sell these. I went to the art store and I got a bunch of canvases, dollar canvases. And I paint these pictures and I sell them for $5 a pop. And they sell like hotcakes, dude. People collect them. Some kids come up to me and said, I got 3 so far. I didn't even recognize the kid.
What is the subject matter of these pieces?
Oh, all types of shit. Like me peeing. I'll have like me with like a big giant wiener peeing. Or I'll have just like a bunch of punks and just like that kind of stuff. Nothing positive. You know, always just giggles.
All right.
And I'm not the best drawer. It's very stylized.
Well, going back to Picasso, you know, abstract is one of those words that can be put over a great many.
It's not so abstract. They're pretty bold and very, just like my lyrics, you know, they're pretty straightforward. But yeah, the lyrics are a little different because I use the metaphors, but yeah.
I see.
It's really hard to get anything else out of a picture of a guy with a dick in his hand. You know, that's all there is.
Well, that is rather basic,
Yeah.
but the variable I was going to mention a moment before, just for clarification, it is a sadder point, of course, but for anyone who is unacquainted with this experience in your past, when you speak of addiction, this is largely in reference to, it is to heroin?
Yeah, well, yeah, heroin, and benzos.
Benzos?
Yeah, Xanax and stuff like that. That took me harder than the heroin did.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it started giving me seizures. I have seizures now. You know?
Like an epileptic would have?
Yes, and I had one. The first one I had, I was getting off a plane, and I get to my back porch. First thing I do, I'm lighting up a cigarette, and concrete. Woke up in a fucking hospital. Seizure. That shook my family up. Oh shit, what happened? You know? So I get taken in an ambulance to wake up, and I had a seizure, man. Why? Because I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling so well, you know? And with heroin, you may want to die, but those withdrawals won't kill you. Alcohol and benzos, those withdrawals will fucking put you down.
I see.
You know what I'm talking about, man? That shit is wild. So I'm thankful to be out of that. I went to Hooper, did my detox, and I get my medication through them, and they get me on mental meds because, you know, I chemically imbalance my own mind by doing so much drugs. You can do that.
I see.
You can change your chemical balance. Because it's giving you dopamine all the time. And eventually your receptors are, I'm not a doctor, but this is pretty much what they tell me. Eventually something happens where your brain's different. And you need those things put back into your brain so you're not just a miserable wreck. Or just feel guilty about everything you've ever done.
I understand. Well, at this juncture, you are, in a word, clean.
I'm clean off heroin and benzos, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. I do smoke pot. I don't really drink. But I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't found a good enough reason to have to sit down and drink that much of anything.
That's
That's fair, dude. My mom's been on me lately about the water because she thinks that's what... I had another seizure about 3 weeks ago. Out of nowhere. It was too hot. Didn't drink enough water. Got home. My whole family was there. Niece, nephew, everyone. And I'm playing with the baby. Hi, baby. All of a sudden I have a seizure. Wake up in the hospital again. So they said, alright, well, because of your drug use, you maybe have this for the rest of your life, man. You're going to be on anti-seizure medicine for the rest of your fucking life.
How frequently do you have these episodes?
I've had probably, I think, 3 seizures. One I didn't tell anyone about because it wasn't serious to me. I just didn't want to scare I had a show that night, didn't want to scare my mom. I just didn't want to put them through it.
I see.
Yeah, I slept for like 18 hours, some shit, and I woke up to turn on the light switch. And just that movement, and just passed out. So, Yeah, drugs are serious, man. They are in no way a good thing to do. I mean, everyone experiments, man, but like, there's certain drugs why experiment with. Like, you know the outcome, and I should have been smarter.
Well, in conversation in the past, you know, the reference to the romanticization, the glorification of that kind of lifestyle has come up.
It's a rough life. If you want to live in a van or on the streets or something, or not talk to the people who love you the most, or just break your family's heart, do drugs. If you want to live a successful life, which I still haven't figured out yet, but I'm working on it, you do your best not to do drugs.
It's a rather harsh question. Can I ask, how long has that element been prevalent in your life? Has it been a number of years?
Oh, I started doing drugs when I was 12.
When you were 12?
12. I started doing heroin when I was about 15, 16. So really young.
I see.
And you'd think it came from us hanging out downtown. No. It was a fucking, a winter I spent in Rockwood. You know?
Ah, yes, Rockwood.
Me and Johnny got turned on. Shout out to Johnny. Not for that though. Shout out because I love you, but.
Of course. Two separate.
Yeah.
Yes. That is quite a long time.
I hear my brother Cody's doing really well. Kodichi.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Cody.
Indeed.
Proud of you, brother. You're a hero. Truly.
Firefighter, I believe.
Hey man, talk about a great guy. Who would have thought though? Who would have thought that's the greatest turnaround story of all time? That if Kodichi can do it. When I first met Cody, he was coughing up blood. He was like 16. He was coughing up blood because he was drinking too much. And it allows when he was 16. He stepped up like a man and took care of his business. And he is a fucking influence on me. He should be an influence on anyone who wants to live a successful life and not just be a failure. And not failure for anyone else, but failure in your own heart. Like when you look in that mirror, are you bummed or are you stoked?
That's a wonderful shout out. That's excellent. That's excellent. Yes, he seems to be doing very well.
I hope so.
And
you know what we did the other day? Me, Johnny, and Fred got together and we were jamming. We were playing Puro songs. Puro's Madre, for anyone who doesn't know. And we got on a little telephone and we called up Cody on video. Said, hey Cody, watch this. Blasted through the set for him. Because we never got a chance to record those songs. You know, at the time, our recording technology was either a tape machine, like a voice recorder. We put a blanket over it so it's not too distorted.
Oh.
And then that's it.
I see.
You know? Or we tried our best to manage GarageBand. We had no money. You know?
I see.
So that's why I did the Decade record. You know? Because all those songs I think are amazing, but they never were recorded.
Now, as I understand, the Decade is where you are now.
Well, it's one of them, yeah.
Well, then, if we may, perhaps, and I don't mean to be adhering to the boring timeline. It does help to put things in perspective, of course. That kind of lineage. So you started with
Delinquent Souls.
Delinquent Souls. Okay, and there's various.
Then we switched to this other band called Ugly Bastards, which is the same lineup, but we were like, up the punks.
Of course.
Because we were real 77 when we first started. It was all Ramones covers and Beach Boys covers and just real fast. It was real. We were the best, dude. We were a force, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I can't wait. If I have a kid, dude, you best believe I'm gonna have 2 more so I can get a little Jackson 5 group going. I'm gonna get those kids to dance and sing like no other.
I see.
But with an iron heart. You know what I mean?
An iron heart.
Yeah, I mean, you can always have an iron fist, but if you tell them like, hey man, I don't know. It's kind of a confusing thing.
No, I think you have that figured out quite well.
Yeah.
Well, most of the audience will possibly forever associate you with, of course, the musical group which achieved so much acclaim, The Cry.
Yeah.
Where would you say that came along the lineage? Was that?
So that was some. So we go Ugly Bastards. I broke up. We met Fred. We started a band with Fred and Keith called No, I wasn't even in the band. I just go to practices with them.
I see.
You know, I was working on my own thing. That's when Leave No One Behind started. But
Leave No One Behind. Forgive me, I didn't mean to say that's right.
actually, no. Before that was Blister in the Zits with Josh, with Flea. This is right before he went to jail. So and there's a video on YouTube. You look up Blister in the Zits, PX Punks, man.
Studio 415, perhaps?
Paris.
The Paris.
And that guy's same video collection, he has Blister. No, it'd be BDF time. Playing one of our songs, playing BZM. And Gussie's, you know her Gussie?
Yeah.
She's singing, they were dual vocal at the time. Fred and Gussie. And it was the worst, dude.
Well.
Hey man, everyone has to try. If you don't try, then how do you know? But like Gussie knew right away maybe that wasn't her calling.
Well.
Either way, I had a great time. I'd play with her again.
Then there you have it. There you have it. And so, Leave No One Behind. Yes.
So then Josh goes to jail. We're all bummed out. So we start Frutas Madre, playing mostly Josh's songs.
Yes, you and a handful, mainly, the Punks, a few brothers and sisters, we were able to make it out to his arraignment.
Yeah, I was there.
I recall that you borrowed a suit from your bloodfather, who is 7 feet tall.
Shout out to my dad.
At the time, I mean, you're closely catching up, but at the time you were nowhere near 7 feet tall. I recall that suit.
It didn't make me look any classier.
Not any classier, no.
It didn't help my case at all. It was fun.
I don't think it did much for fleas either. But.
Yeah, my parents they were so loose about most of the things in my life, but they were bitches about school nights, alright? So like, I didn't get to go see the Addicts one time because it was a school night. Not because of, anything else, but it was a school night. So, they let me go to his arraignment and ditch school one day. That said something. That was cool. My dad even drove me there and dropped me off.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That was a week. Oh, it had to be a weekday, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it was heavy.
I'm sorry, I distracted us. Yes, he went
away
that way, and Leave No One Behind was cultivated.
No, Pro was, but I wasn't really. I wanted to sing. Right?
Yes.
So like Pro was going, but also VD was going. So Fred was still singing, Johnny's still playing drums, but now they're kind of doubling it up. And I was like, shit, I need to get my own thing going. So I looked on MySpace and I see Dylan, our boy.
Your idiot cousin Dylan, yes.
My idiot, lovely cousin Dylan.
That's right.
I see him and old Joe.
Right? Joe, yes.
So I see them on there, and they have this shitty name, but I saw that they probably had a PA system and gear. And I can wrangle any...
You have the gear.
Exactly, I can wrangle any 4 idiots into playing some songs, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, luckily they weren't huge idiots, Dylan. Just kidding. Whatever. So, we started practicing. And I said, alright guys, so I need to introduce you to my crew. You know what I mean? You can't be excited. Come on in, baby. We're going to go downtown and drink. Let's go. Practice is over. We go downtown, and they're thinking it's fucking watered down or something, but they start gulping, And Dylan's always been a fish. But his old pal Joe was just barfing in the street. Cops are coming. And that's when I thought, leave no man behind. Go get his ass. That's why I named the band Leave No Man Behind. So
Is that right?
Yeah, so I went and grabbed him, had to drag him all the way to Tyrcon, all covered in puke. I didn't care, but, it was funny. And that was a good band name, and that was a good thing. We did a lot of stuff.
Oh, yes, you did. I did not know that backstory. I've always appreciated the name of that band and the principle that goes behind it.
We had a good spirit.
Yes.
We weren't the most, they call us leave no drum set behind because we'd lose our gear.
That's right.
We'd lose our gear everywhere because we'd be such a fucking drunken mess. Every time.
Leave my amp behind.
Exactly.
Leave my bass behind.
I remember one time we had shows to Tyrcon and we brought no gear. And Rum Rebellion was headlining. We said, we use your amps? And Dave, bless his soul, dude, he says, sorry buddy, but this amp only works for acoustic guitars. Which I bet it would have been fine. But I get what he's saying. He's saying, fuck you, man. Like, I came through with all my gear because I give a shit about my band. Where's your effort?
A lesson learned.
Lesson learned by a veteran.
Indeed. Yes.
Shout out to Dave.
Of course. And Little Cuban Rudy, going back to the beginning,
Yeah.
he emerged as your...
Well, me and Johnny were just friends. We were best friends.
Yeah.
We see another kid in 6th grade with a Sex Pistol shirt on.
Yeah.
We said, who's this kid? He says, hey, my name's Rudy. We introduced, I said, you play any instruments? He says, yeah, I play guitar. He selected guitar. So we said, you play bass. And from then on, we were fucking brothers.
And he winds up in Leave No One Behind.
Yeah, he was kind of like, I had Dylan and Joe.
Yeah.
So I kind of needed a teammate that I knew could handle some weight.
Surely.
Because the only consoles to my dad would shoot us in the hands with BB guns. He'd sit there at practice. We'd be playing. He'd watch the fuck up. Get you in the hand with a BB gun. So we're not fucking up too many times. We were pretty tough about it.
I expect so.
You gotta be, man. I take music really seriously.
Indeed.
And I take the whole thing seriously now. Like even small things like presentation.
Oh, it's very important.
My favorite bands like Ramones or Kiss or any of these bands, you go there and their amps are all backlined. Not that I've seen the Ramones, but yeah. And it's just like you get this feeling, something's about to go down. In that electricity,
Yes.
And those are the small things you can do to make kids so excited. I remember going to shows when I was young, getting so excited just by people just giving it, I had a kid corner mouse yesterday to play some music, and where he wasn't very talented at all, he was very theatrical. So we're sitting on my back porch playing acoustic guitars, and he's trying to show me his best fucking, his best rock and roll moves. I'm like, let's just see a G chord, buddy. Let's just go G minor real quick. Yeah, so some people, whatever it takes for them. Now luckily that'll be the guy who succeeds, not me. No, I'm just kidding. But you get what I'm saying.
I do.
It could be anyone.
I've always sensed, and maybe you can confirm this, or maybe otherwise, it's one thing to be told that you have stage presence. It's another thing actually to feel that you do, to experience that. Have you sense that about yourself, whether you are in the moment and...
At times.
In the audience, I might tell you that we've always, if I may speak for the majority, or perhaps everyone, we've definitely sensed that. You seem in your absolute natural element.
Yeah. I think it was harder sometimes for the cry for me to do that because... one sec.
Please.
The music was harder, It's a lot easier to move around when you're just singing. But when and Brian wants me to play the right chord, and I'm going to play that right chord because that's,
Well, as I understand, we have Leave No One Behind.
And then we had The Decade. Not The Decade, my bad. It was at that time a Crooked Look.
Oh, right? I see.
And this was a transition. This was from Leave No Behind's breaking up. We couldn't do it no more. Dylan was drinking too much. We tried to get another guitar player too. Switched Gob on drums. Played some shows. It just wasn't right. And we kind of just dismembered. And that time I said, Johnny, man, let's fucking start a real band. And he had a friend from high school who was making a documentary about punk and needed someone to interview. So he hit me up out of nowhere.
I see.
So I said, alright, dude, I'll be in your little documentary. Come film one of our band practices at Rudy's house.
Oh, right.
So we go to Rudy's house and this kid's there and we're taking a break smoking and this guy pulls out a fucking guitar and just starts wailing.
I see.
I said, we're starting a band.
Yeah. This was the documentarian.
Yeah.
I see.
Who's Brian? That's Brian.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it turned out to be him. So he was just some, skater kid, just average kid.
I see. Okay.
But I saw his chops, and they were way. He's still my favorite guitar player, man. Straight up, dude. I take so much. When I come up with a guitar part, I'm trying to steal whatever I think he would do. I swear to God, like that kid is so talented, man. If he could just, I don't know. I can't say because I have my own hang-ups, but if he could just do whatever it takes, man, he's got it.
Well, that's remarkable.
So we started that band, and we played a few shows. We were really good. We were like, that was probably the tightest band I had until the Cry,
And what was it called again?
We were called A Crooked Look, which is a name that Josh sent us, because Josh would send us all these pictures and band names on it. And we went through one day, and I said, A Crooked Look, that's kind of cool. I'll take that one.
I wonder if that's a satire on, isn't there a beauty parlor called A Perfect Look?
Is that?
You think
that's what Josh is
I think maybe it's a parody on that. You will, on a quick aside, you will certainly testify that, well, there's a poor choice of words, but you will corroborate that, that's also a poor choice of word, you will agree that, that Flea used his time away to the utmost. He didn't waste that time. He spent it writing songs,
Did he?
learning the guitar.
Did he? See, I don't know, because when he got out, I see the Flea that I knew. Flea taught me how to write a song, by the way.
I have no doubt.
No, he literally did. We were right when we first started listening to Zits. We had no songs, and we played Punk Rock Love. That was the cover. You know what I mean? That was now we need songs. He goes, all right, here's how you write a song. Sat down the guitar and wrote one. Said, there's one. Let's play it. And I said, he goes, here's another. And it showed me that's how you write a song. Just do it.
Just do it.
Verse, chorus, maybe a bridge if not, if it's a punk song, you don't need a bridge, just shoot your soul, you're fine. 2 choruses, you're done. Yeah, he taught me that. And that was really cool. It changed my life, It fucking changed the shit out of my life.
Yeah, well, it must have at the start of the interview, you mentioned, in terms of the idea of being a prodigy, that you see yourself as a prolific songwriter.
Yes.
So there,
yeah.
And so.
Josh is a great songwriter.
Oh, indeed.
Oh man, his early stuff for the Creeps, I just didn't get why they weren't doing the things necessary to succeed, whatever that is. I guess it's hard to do when you're 15, but
well,
they have the greatest songs, dude. They were clever. But, life happens.
yes, life can interfere with that success.
And that's what happened with the Crooked Look.
I see.
We did some traveling a little bit, around Washington and Oregon, but we broke up because me and Johnny got all fucked up. Brian said, I'll never be in a band with you again.
Oh, I see.
So I kind of cleaned up a little, not really, but it was okay. It was working, right?
I see.
A year later, I call him and say, hey, dude, I got this idea. I'm going to start a new kind of band. It's going to be more like a 77 band, right? It's not going to be UK82 anymore. We're going to start a 77 band, and the template is the Ramones and the Hearts, Exploding Hearts, for all you squares. And the riffs. The riffs are one of my biggest influences ever. That I'm not a part of that reunion. I should be playing guitar. I already know all the parts. Tony, whoever's running that, I got him. So, yeah, but yeah, dude. So he said, I'll come check out a few of your songs, and he liked them. And from there on out, we were thick as thieves.
And was that the emergence of The Cry?
The Cry, yeah, I was going to do it regardless. I had songs written and demoed, but Brian changed it from me just really. See, it was I'd been playing guitar for 10 years, but it was really only 1 year, 10 times. I hadn't learned anything. I went down to do a bar chord, and I just kept running with that until I didn't, Brian made me learn.
I see. He imposed a discipline.
Oh, totally. If I didn't play a minor chord, I didn't even know what a minor was. Most guitar players don't ever realize the difference between a major chord and a minor chord.
I see.
He taught me that difference. He taught me time things. He taught me how to sing. I already know how to sing, but he taught me how to hit harmonies. Things I can't pay back someone. With anything. There's nothing you can give for that. In my eyes.
Short of gratitude. Yes.
Oh, and that I do. I've made my mistakes with Brian, as we both know. We're both tiffin, but I think life's short, and what? We're gonna be forever? No. I bet the first time this is what's shitty. First time someone offers money, I bet Brian would be down, and that's when I'd say, nah, because you weren't down, dude. When it was this is my life. I need you to have my back here and just stick around, and I swear I'll try to get better. But he's heard that from me a few times. So why would he keep listening to Cry Wolf? I don't know. I understand both sides, but it's just hard.
Of course.
But I'm gonna keep the Cry going, even though it is me and Brian. At the end of the day, I want, and we both agreed on this early in the band. We want what's best for the band. Is what's best for the band for it to die? No. What's best for the band is for us to carry on until the other members can either rejoin the back. We always give them the the what's it called? You know?
Benefit of the doubt? Right?
No, not just that, but like, you know, say Dave quits the band. We can say, hey man, if you want to join at any time again, just hit us up.
Ah, you leave the door open.
Door open, dude. This door is open. This door is not only open, but there's a sign that says, Brian, I'm sorry, come in, buddy.
Please come back. I see.
No, please come back, but I'd love you to. And yeah, please come back.
Very good. Well,
you know, I gotta keep my pride at some point, but because I tried really hard to just make amends, and he just hasn't responded. He hasn't cared. That's what makes it okay for me to continue to cry, because in all the conversations, he doesn't even seem to care enough to respond. When, you know, I live by the motto, cry or die. You know what I mean? So did he for the longest time, so what happened?
well, perhaps the timing hasn't come into play yet. I don't know. We sort of speculate. I do wonder, you mentioned, forgive me for going back a bit here.
Great.
The, just on a side note, as it were, this documentary that Brian was making that originally acquainted you with each other, did he in fact make that?
You know, I think he probably got a B or something in high school for it. I don't know, I'd love to see that.
Oh, it was a school project.
It was a high school project.
You didn't say that.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't a real documentary.
Well, I'm sure it's still another time capsule.
Hey, I'm sure it is a terribly embarrassing time capsule. And not for any other reason except for I didn't even know how to tune a guitar until last year. You know? No, I'm just kidding.
You wouldn't call your Drop Dead video embarrassing.
No, there was a quality there.
Yeah, indeed. Well,
that wasn't there with Leave No One Behind, wasn't there with any of the other bands until the cry started again.
okay. Well, maybe we'll have to see that documentary sometime if he still hasn't. Would ever care to share it? This could be, if you pardon the expression, this could be hype. I don't know. I've been on the periphery for eons now, and so I only know what misinformation is usually filtered to me. My impression was that the cry at one point in time was, if not near, at least approaching some manner of, to phrase it crassly, some manner of commercial success, making it as it were. Is that in fact true? Were you close to?
Still, I mean, we're just the same as we were then, except only because COVID. You can't tour anyway.
Oh, this virus.
Yeah, you're just doing me a little favor, you know. Can't go on tour, sorry.
I see.
No, I'm just kidding. But really though. Yeah, so I mean, in a sense, a little bit of our momentum has shifted down, but I've noticed such a pickup with the Tommy Ray stuff that it's just been crazy. It's been crazy.
And what is that? The
Tommy Ray stuff is pretty much songs I wrote for the Cry that for some reason or another the Cry can't seem to agree that something's good enough, you know? Like we went to Palm Springs and spent the money and recorded some major shit just for us.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Just to shelf it, you know? You know, I listen to it now, it's so amazing, you know?
Well, I'm sure.
And we recorded something not long ago and it was amazing.
I believe you made a few music videos too.
Oh, no, we also have like albums and shit and all the real things, but I'm talking like, since me and Brian, like our relationship is brother, but competitive. Where I'm jealous of his guitar playing, he doesn't really write songs.
See?
But money's not in guitar playing, money's in writing songs. And I agreed to him one day, I said, Brian, bro, I'll give you, we can be a Lennon McCartney, I will give that to you for your loyalty and your guitar playing. But he wasn't having it. So, you know, he made a smart decision or not. Because, you know, now I've ASCAP'd, which is like a songwriting, like over 100 songs.
I see.
That I give my own, you know what I mean? So it's, and I wouldn't, yeah, I love Brian, dude. You know, he's part of my family still.
Of course.
You know, even though, like, things change, but, like, you can't change a brother. I think me and him need to just go in the backyard and fight. And then afterwards give a big hug and say, oh, it's over.
Your brothers Cody and Fredo did that once.
It's gotta be done, dude.
In their case, it needed to happen, and it was for the better.
Yeah, man.
It's as savage as it might.
We can maybe make a little money. You know, get a ring together, and we can, you know, put bets out and see what happens.
Well, ASCAP that's an impressive achievement.
Oh, yeah, I've been using ASCAP for years.
That's really very good.
I'm ASCAPing all the Leave No Behind songs too that I wrote.
Well, that's wonderful.
Just the more you can ask after the better.
I would tend to agree. Yes, you know. Again, from the periphery. Well.
And the Cry, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no.
The Cry only released 2 albums, you know.
I see.
I'm going to be releasing 2 albums this year. 2 full-length LPs this year. And there's still more I could release, but I'm being told from, you know, my people, don't go busting that so quick, buddy. Because, you know, the first album hasn't even had the time to do its thing yet.
To saturate.
To run its course.
Yes. I tend to agree.
But I need to prove a point. You know what I mean? My point is that I'm here and that nothing's, you know, we're all good. I'm going to keep coming through with hits, baby. You know what I mean? So I dropped 2. It was going to be a double album. But I don't know why I did. Cost more money.
Well, again, these things take time.
Yeah.
You know. These albums are Tommy Ray?
Tommy Ray, only because I can't think of a cooler name. I hate not that Tommy Ray's a great name, there's a ton of them, but like, I got kind of iffy moves about using the Cry so soon, and I just had to get these songs out, dude. I have this problem where like if I have a song that's half written, I always go back to it, it fucking eats at me, when I lay up at night I'm working out songs, and it just fucks me up. So I need to get it out there. Then I'll say, okay, that baby's born, move on to the next idea.
All right.
Yeah.
And so then the Decade, you keep mentioning.
Yeah, Decade.
And now what is this?
That's a band I started just with the intentions of hearing a quality version of all the songs we used to play. Because we don't have any of them, and I love those songs.
I see.
Yeah, so I recorded it, and I thought, oh, let me give it a cool name, The Decade. That sounds really cool. Has it been used? No. What? I'll take that copyright. Anytime.
That's interesting. You think a name that outstanding, or that stands out as much as that, would have been
still got released by someone.
Graphic.
Or whoever didn't copyright it.
Indeed.
So he copyrights it gets the ball.
Yes. Well, so you
costs $50 to copyright them. That's a lot of money in my pocket. No, it's not. Actually, what it is about half a day of busking.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's if I don't sell. And I sell merch when I busk. I pull out all the merch. And I go big. Because I don't want to look like a bum. I want to look like an artist out there, like fucking doing his thing. You know? I even used to bring out a little stage. Like, not stage, it was actually like a bunch of milk things, you know? But I'd stand on it just so I was taller than everyone else.
And is this in downtown Portland?
I do it right outside fucking Voodoo. Right where I spent all my days as a kid.
Oh, the donut shop.
Donut shop. I hate the donuts, but I love that spot. That's where tourists go, dude.
Oh, yes, that's true.
That's where the tourists go, and I want that money.
Well, it sounds like you're a hit with it.
And you know what I do? My favorite thing to do is if there's a kid that looks really interested, I say, hey kid, you ever played guitar? He said, no. I say, hey mom, is it okay? He says, yeah. Here you go, kid, try this one on. And most of the time they smile. But if it sparks it, it sparks it. You know? I'm really into teaching kids how to play music.
That's wonderful, man.
Yeah.
You never know who you might inspire.
That's the point. Yeah, I was so inspired early on by, like if we're just talking Portland, I mean the Paris as a whole, I've been going to shows there since I was in like fucking diapers. Not diapers, it was cum shack when I was in diapers, but literally. But no, yeah, Elvis. No, you know Elvis, right? From around.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, I've known him for so long.
The local luminary down there. Yes.
I've known him for so long since I was a little boy. As a little kid, I was scared shit of him. Now I'm like, hey buddy, how are you? He's A-Ray. You know. But at first I was like, dude, he looks like Chong, first off. You know, Tommy, you're back in Cheech and Chong. You know,
Tommy Chong.
You know, and I was just, that's not Elvis, man. That's my dad, but that's really Elvis, right? That's really Elvis, man. See, no, that's not Elvis, Dad. That's Elvis, right?
For goodness sakes. Oh my gosh. So, downtown.
It's getting heavy nowadays.
Yes, yeah, I expect so.
I don't care. I busted it. I braved that storm. I don't care. And you know, because of that, I've gotten fucked with by a bunch of like, I don't know what they call themselves, but they're all in like fake military gear, calling themselves Antifa, but they were picking on me and like this Arabian kid walking down the street, you know what I mean? And punched the Arabian kid in the face. He wasn't even from America. And I said, that's wrong, dude. That is fucking not okay. Like, dude, I'm not gonna judge you for being any color. Why are you fucking judging me? You know? It's just so weird, man. And another thing I'm just gonna say now about that picture I took with the cop, I have no remorse. Because you know what, dude? If someone raped your sister and you don't call the cops, you're a piece of shit. And those Antifa people are not gonna show up, dude. Maybe they will, dude. Let me call them. Let me get their number. But like, I doubt they'll be there to jump your big ass stepdad who tried to touch your sister or something with a gun or something. You know what I mean? Like he's like, fucking come at me. You know what I mean? No, a cop will. He'll get that child out of that danger. Now there's shitty cops, and I've had terrible situations, lots of them. But just because every cop is, or just because a few cops are bad doesn't make them all terrible. Just like with race or with religion or with anything. You know, so we can't call them fascists at the same time judge every police officer. That sounds pretty, you know?
You mean like a contradiction of sorts?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
You know? And I'm not a political guy. I try to keep it out of my life because I think it's just too much for me. I just think it should really stay out of music because if you're getting your political views from music, you're kind of fucking up. Like people who disrespect G.G. Allin, he's so this and that. Okay, if you're getting your moral compass from G.G. Allin, maybe you got a problem. You know what I mean? You take him for what he was, not for what he's not. And I hated G.G. Allin's music. Until recently, when I realized what he was. What he was a really extreme Alice Cooper kind of, with shitty music.
I see.
Took it too far. You know, he saw what he needed to do to take it to the hill. He probably shit in his hand once, saw the reaction and said, buy the X-Lax every night. We're doing it. This band's like, it's going to be a stinky tour. You know what I'm saying?
I expect it would have been, or was. I don't know the image you're referring to. You had a photo.
Oh yeah. So one day I'm walking down, thinking of the second Decayed album, right?
Yes.
I wanted it to be like a bunch of like sirens and cop cars and shit, and me on my knees with my hands on my head, which has happened in real life a few times. So it's not so far-fetched, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and so like I'm getting a picture taken of me on a cell phone. Mm-hmm. When a cop pulls up and says, "What are you doing?" And we're just taking a picture, and then I forget who said, "Why don't you guys take a picture?" I said, "Let's take that picture. Come on." You know, and I'm just standing there. The cops look, take a picture. Right? The next day I said, post it on the internet. All of a sudden, people who I thought fucking loved me and had my back since childhood started calling me names like a fascist, and people who've seen me struggle financially, my family, saying we have white privilege, all this shit. Like, to me it's like, dude, you know me. You know what I've gone through, you know what I've done, and yes, I'm more privileged than most, but it's not because of race. You know what I mean? It's because luckily I have a dad and a mom who give a fuck. And that's not financial, that's about love and about guidance and shit like that. You know what I mean? So if like, I don't know, man. I have a hard time with all these politics things because I don't know. I don't know who to trust, I don't know what to believe. I know I don't trust people that fucking are, I am pro-American because I think America's the greatest country for this reason. You can do whatever you want, man. You can pray to whoever you want, you can dress however you want. You know, some places, if you're gay, they kill your ass, dude, with stones. Or they'll fucking just treat you like shit. Here, dude, it's okay, man, be you. And let me be me. And that's the problem I'm having, is they're not letting other people be other people, you know? Anyone should be allowed to go protest. Don't go you don't want them counter-protesting your vibe, whatever you got going. You know, let everyone start a zine. You know, like my thing is like, throw it up the flagpole, see who salutes it.
I see.
You know? And, fuck, man. Yeah, my dad says, he says, history favors the bold.
That's largely true.
So, like, I think, okay, so they're setting some shit on fire. It reminded me a lot of ISIS, in a way. And I go down there almost every night and busk.
Then you've probably seen some incredible sights.
Oh yeah, dude, I've fucking been gassed. Not me personally, but they threw a gas bomb and pretty much got me. You don't hear me whining. Because I was there. They said, everyone leave if you don't want to get gassed. You know, I think all the peaceful protesters would leave at about 10.
I see.
You know what I mean? After that, it's people who want to fucking, you know, are they really trying to change America for the better? And if so, then that's great. Because whatever's going to make America the better country and help us do whatever we need to be, you know? Not that I'm like some nationalist or whatever, but I was born in America. This is where I live. I'm forced here. And I'm glad I am. You know? Yeah, I don't associate with any political party except for rock and roll, you know? That's my politics. And yeah, I can't be bothered with it. It's all, I still don't trust them, you know? And anyone who says they know a lot about politics, I don't trust them either, because how can they know either? It's like a news guy. He can guess what the weather is, but is it really going to be that the next day? We'll find out.
That usually is the case.
Like with COVID.
You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they'll say a lot of shit, but we'll find out the facts, you know, in time.
Well, in going back to busking,
Sure.
I seem to recall, and I it's been so many years. I might get the phrases wrong. Not so much doing the dozens, but busting a rhyme.
Oh, freestyle.
Yes, that's right. You seem like you had a knack for
I do.
You
know?
have.
So my game with busking is this: is whoever's I play a lot of half songs, but I try not to stop. That's one thing I do. I try not to make a stop in between songs and transition everything key wise. So, but I depending on who's walking up is what I'm gonna play. So if it's an old couple, I'm gonna go 50s. If it's you know, some young kids, I'm maybe playing Oasis 90s song, right? If it looks like it's some kid like, you know, baggy pants and shit, I'm gonna play what I know, Mac Dre.
Oh,
Because I love Mac Dre, so I'm gonna play that. Whatever, I'm not out there to get myself off. I never play originals, and that's why I thrive myself on songwriting. But when I'm busking, never do I. Unless someone says, "Play me one of yours," and I say, okay. I'm out there to. That's the only job I have.
I see.
You know.
I see.
So I gotta really I'm gonna start actually watching my money. You know what I mean? Watching how much I make each day. Watching how much I spend each day. Learning opportunity cost. My dad taught me that word.
Budgeting is very important to success.
If you buy this, now you can't buy toilet paper. If you buy the candy, you can't buy the meat to eat too.
Priorities.
Yeah, man.
I see.
So that's a hard thing for me.
Again, it's one of these lofty, insipid questions that get brought up in interviews. What are your hopes and aspirations for the future? Your goals?
Well, overall, in general, I want to be happy.
Happiness.
Yeah, whatever that means at the time, that's what that means. And I want my parents to not be bummed when they die about me. So, yeah, that's nothing. And as far as money and shit goes, I'm so used to being broke that, I mean, I'd love a lot of money, but I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I make enough to survive, maybe.
I see.
If there's a nice girl around. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Thank God. You know, there was as much respect as I can say that with. Yeah. And yeah. And there's another thing going around that I beat women. And everyone who ever has known me knows, dude. One, like, I gotta take shades off this one. I am not a woman beater. I have restrained women only after they've, like, attacked me. Like, came at me and hit me in the face more than once. And we're not gonna stop. What do you do? You know? What do you do? There's no fucking class on that. You do what your instinct is. And my instinct is put them in the sleeper. Try to get them to stop. Full Nelson. No pun intended.
I see.
You know what you're saying, Uncle, real quick. Uncle! I said, okay, done, dude, but don't swing at me anymore. If that's woman beating, dudes, I'm not even going to say that I'm a woman beater. But no, you get what I'm saying.
I didn't know there was any idea circulating about
yes.
that.
Some people, when they get on Facebook and they get a little attention, and you know, especially with like me being in a band and doing this and that, people will react a certain way. So if someone calls me a woman beater, now her Facebook is getting more attention. People are like, who is this girl? You know? And I saw this scientific thing, and they're saying some people really get a dopamine kind of, you know, good feeling every time they hear that bing from Messenger or a comment bing.
I see.
That makes them happy. I mean, to me that's like the lamest thing possible. If I could not be on the internet and still have a band that's working, I would.
Have you your own impressions about the way that what's called social media has affected the punk rock skinhead spectrum?
Oh, it's destroyed punk rock.
It has destroyed it.
Yeah. You know, I think the only scene that is really thriving right now is the scene that's coming out of like the Oklahomas and the Colorados.
I see.
No, not Colorado, Denver. I guess it's in Colorado. But yeah, they're really thriving. You know what I mean? Because they're back to punk. You know, they're not fucking so, you know, like they're not Carhartts and you know, a train riding fucking. I mean, you can have a few squatters around, but when I was a kid, dude, when we were growing up, no squatters allowed, bro. You scram, and that's a little fucked up. You judge people all wrong, but you know, my boy Jay Maddox got his face kicked in for drinking with the wrong squatter once. Accidentally stepped on his puppy dog's tail. So, like, come on. We were worried for good reason. We were young children hanging out with full-grown alcoholic men who are just going to do whatever they're going to do. Which may mean whoop your ass. You don't know. So you got to be on your toes, you know.
Well, at your own age and level, you do have a number of, as it were, squatter rail riding cousins.
Oh, tons of them. And I love them all the same.
Certainly. Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, I don't care what you do. As long as you're happy to.
I see.
You know?
Well, you know, on that note, and we'll be mindful of your disdain for politics and its way of influencing everything. At this juncture in the world, certainly in this country, there are legions of unhappy people, very angry, very...
On both sides.
Oh yes, all across.
No one's happy.
I'm not going to ask you how would you fix that or how would you address that, but if there was something you could say or impart to...
Alright, here's what I'd do. I'd say, alright, anyone who doesn't want to fucking do its best... Like, here's what I say. Like, my dad's like, blah, 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 this and that, like... But talking shit about the way people are going about certain things. But if that's what they feel is best for America, and they honestly feel that in their heart, and they're telling the truth, dude, I can't hate on them for that.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see.
Because that's their best effort. Like, regardless of what it is.
If it's
genuine.
If it's genuine.
And if it's for the greater of all of us, you know? You know? And I listen to a lot of political shit through my house, you know? And it's hard for me just to not absorb some of it, you know? But in life, you know, you can't. I just, in my life, I guess. Some people wrote their lives. My big brother, for instance, he's a big political guy. He's watching his phone. Man, did you hear they said in the courtroom? No, bro, I didn't. I was living my life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I don't get the fact that it affects you, and I haven't had that yet. Where, like, a vote, you actually voting affects your life. Like, to me, it's like, fucking hey, dude, that seems like something that's, like, so far away, but it's not. Everyone should go out and vote. But, like, for me, honestly, that's how I feel. You know? Sorry, I'm just a little hot. But yeah. Everyone do what they do, dude. Just be good to each other and understand everyone's different. Like, if someone's a Republican, why are they a Nazi? I don't get it. I'm confused. Because they're not calling all Democrats fucking commies. Or maybe they are, but maybe they are though.
Well, again, that's politics.
That's politics for you. That's why I closed the door.
I understand.
Got a lash in there.
Oh,
I'll just go like this. Thanks again, man.
Oh,
It's been great.
well, it's been very good talking to you,
It's been
and
amazing.
I know there's no end to all the conversational
We can
avenues
gab all year.
we can visit. Well, then perhaps you will, in keeping with the notion that this format will be an ongoing feature, perhaps you will visit us again.
I'd love to anytime.
Yes, indeed.
I'm dropping a new album October. It's called Handful of Hits. And make sure to check out my last album, First It's Free. Out now, you can get it on vinyl or digital, whatever. But do it though if you like good music. And remember, if you think the scene sucks, it's because you suck. Because you are the scene. Make the change that you want to be, or whatever that statement is.
Sort of self-fulfilling cycle then.
Yeah, man. If your scene sucks, that means you're not doing your job. Make a zine or something.
Do something.
Do something like this.
All right. Well, very good. All right. Little Baby Punk Ray, Tommy Ray.
Tommy Ray.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, man. Come to a town near you.
All right. Well, with special thanks to tonight's guest, Tommy Ray. Until next time, up the punks.